Hello everyone. Today we are will going to talk about blockchain. Recently, I came across and got to know about this technology. So it's a very powerful technology. From that session, I able to get that thing, and I got impressed by the technology. What it can be done by using that technology. So I'll go with the just intro part. So during that session, I got to know that blockchain is introduced by some um, one person. I'm not able to get his name, but if you guys Google it, you will get it. So uh, my intention to talk about it is like from the starting of it, it's kind of anonymous source we can say of this technology. So there are group of people who work together, and this blockchain technology came into picture, and after a few years they just got disappeared. The community which actually developing in the initial stage of this technology, those just like disappeared, and they not made it public that whoever like how many people were there. But yeah, like that the blockchain technology uh, uh, came in IT world, and there are like lot more applications are there for blockchain. We will be like we can't explain it in a small session like this, but yeah, we will be definitely talk about some of them. So yeah, first thing I want to tell that blockchain, if you are a new person, and when you when you hear this word blockchain, so quickly you in your mind might be came pictures like bitcoins or cryptocurrency. But like same as a common person, I also had this kind of sensation. But actually what we talk about when we talk about bitcoins or cryptocurrency, it's actually the application of blockchain. So in cryptocurrency they use blockchain technology, which is why blockchain is became more popular nowadays, and many of other people are using it. Honestly, I don't know much about the how many applications are there, but by that one example, if we see, then we can able to understand what exactly a blockchain can do with the potential benefits it have. So there are few important I'll say key concepts or properties which make baseline for the blockchain working principles. uh, First thing is that when you are uh, doing something through blockchain, so it's not like your only your infrastructure is working in the hoods. Actually, it's kind of cloud computing, but in a decentralized way. In the sense like it's actually cloud computing. If we talk about that, there are very many various companies provide it, but actually they hold it in privately. But here I'll say, instead of cloud, I'll say a network in network. So how many peoples or individuals want to participate in this technology to make work or work to get in work. And let's say, take example that one person want to send money from his account to another person account. So what usually happen, so he will use some app or third party application like any bank or UPI or payments app, and then he do that transaction, and the money will be transferred. But in other such scenarios, such as that transaction might be failed, or if someone hacker came in between of them and he transferred that money instead of the corresponding person, he transferred to himself. And other scenarios is like that money might be not transferred or the transaction is in pending. So such scenarios might be happen. So that time blockchain technology will uh, appear to make it more easy. Now let's take a quick example how blockchain actually, why we need blockchain, or how blockchain is getting more popular. With some simple example, that let's say a person A want to send money to person B, and then he use any app or some application something, and he do the transaction and send it to the particular person. But but there are some disadvantages here if we think about different scenarios. Let's say first thing is that the assurance about the money transfer, like what is like uh, still the technology not able to make it that much effective, like there always a successful transaction will happen, and it will be happen to the correct, from the correct resource to the correct destination. So what exactly I mean, like suppose you are doing some transaction and in between some third person came in picture during that transaction, and he altered that thing. That transaction means instead of it happened to the particular person, he changed that destination and he made it to the some other place or himself. So that we say that is as a fraud, or what we say, attack, kind of attack on your transaction. But usually it will not happen with our bank transaction, because nowadays banking sectors are very becoming secure and uh, very much improved. But just for example, I'm taking here. So that thing can happen, or we seen sometimes our transactions are in pending. That thing happen usually, but in within a 2 or 3 days it get resolved. But which is still not efficient nowadays if we think about in IT world. Okay, and uh, the main concept I want to tell about here, the main principle in the blockchain is that the principle is that the responsibility taken for particular transaction is not a private entity. Like it's not inclusion of two entities. Like here, one there are how many entities will be included if we do the bank transaction? There is first is the sender, second is receiver, and third will be the app owner or the organization through which you are making the transaction. So only three entities are responsible for that transaction. But if we think about the blockchain, it's a responsibility of number of numerous peoples who are participating in the blockchain to make it verified uh, and what we say, completely atomic in the sense it should be uh, and it should be verified and assured that that transaction is completed successfully, and that responsibility is taken by a group of peoples in a decentralized way. I'll explain it more when we talk about more examples. So that's one thing. Another thing is like there is a like we talk about security, we talk about encryption. When we talk about security, there is a concept of different encryption algorithms. There is a concept of different standards. we should follow when we do online transaction or anything we when we use any IT services online. So that time security is very most important concern for anyone who are working in a or working with the IT services. So here, if we talk about other transaction, because if we think about banking nowadays, banking is becoming more and more secure. But if we talk about any other transactions or any other uh, information transfer, where security and verification of what we say uh, uh, mm, original source of information need to be verified, that time it's very much important that the information should be get transferred in a secure manner. So that if we think about that scenario, that time also blockchain is very useful. Now we came to the core part, like how actually that happens. As I talked previously, like how many people are included for transaction. So here in blockchain, there are like numerous peoples will be included. There should be two. Definitely, there will be first two inclusion, like the sender and the receiver. Then, while in between the transferring of these blocks, the all persons or all the IT guys who are interested to be a part of this blockchain technologies, they came into picture. And what are their role is like, when we are sending something and when we are transferring something or when we have started the transaction, which is actually made of blocks as we talked previously, and which holds the your piece of information, like some amount you want to deduct from your uh, account and you want to credit it to the some other person account. Everything is get included and created a chain of blocks which is verified by the digital signature, and that blocks are encrypted using some encryption algorithm like SHA 256. Those blocks are getting transferred from one place to another place. That time these people ensure that during the process of transformation of these blocks from one place to another place, the quality and the originality of that blocks, and there is nothing like uh, breach, any kind of breach in breach of information should not happen, and that block should not be get altered. That responsibilities has been taken care by these peoples. And there is another thing, like when you started this transaction, and so your blocks are getting encrypted in with very strong algorithms. Okay, but when you start any transaction, then it's actually going through different ways. Like normally if you send something parcel from one place to another place physically, so it going through some ways, like say from city A to city Z. So it should go through different ways, from one post office to another post office, then another post office, like that it get and finally reach to the destination. In some way, same way in blockchain, same way these people ensure that uh, that blocks are getting reached to their destination. So here their responsibility is that the packet responsibility is that blocks are verified at each place when they reach to some particular destination, particular place in between, and there is a no alteration happen, there is a no quality loss, there is a no data loss happen for that those blocks. How they do it? They have to solve it some encryption or mathematical problem for that, to check and verify and make ensure that this information is verified and that information is reached to the particular place without loss of anything. And they have to give this proof that how is like they have to give this proof by verifying it and solving the problem, mathematical problem, which actually means some calculations or some mathematics will be there in place to which result in proving that the blocks is in its original format or in its original content with its in original content of information. So for doing that, these peoples will require computational power because those are not a normal mathematical thing, problems or something. They require some computational power, and that power they gives that power they provide themselves from their private assets or some equipments they own, and they do the job for solving those problems and verifying the blocks at each place in between their transaction. Now you might think about what are their benefits. So when they are doing this and giving their efforts to verifying the blocks and ensuring that everything is proper, chain is in proper order, and chain is in with all the uh, original contents from the source, they when they verify the individual blocks and give the proof of it, that time they will get some rewards in the form of bitcoins, and these people are known as miners. Okay, so in this way that will happen. Now you should you need to understand another one concept is like there are not one or two miners will be there during this process. There are like many miners will be there, and when your transaction is started, it got encrypted in the form of blocks chain, and that copy of that chain is transferred to the network where these miners are present. So everyone will get the copy, and at the different places when they are solving the mathematical problems or what we say, the way how you verify the blocks are in their original format from the source when they started, that time if someone want to give the false verification, suppose someone want to earn bitcoin by giving the wrong calculation or wrong results of uh, verifying the quality of the blocks, that time others also have that copy which uh, which which in which got verified checked against that one false verification results, which also might uh, give the penalty for the particular miner. Okay, so in that way the key benefit of blockchain persisted during this transaction, which is the like security and quality of which is proof of original content, means there is a no alteration happen during the transfer of information, which is the important properties I'll say in the blockchain. So in this way that information get transferred from one place to another place, and it will reach and the transaction will complete.